All right, I am playing with my senses, and right now I'm going to make some corn fritters for you. In the batter, well, I can't remember what it's in it. Anyway, I'm just playing. All right, so I'll just use my little cupper and make my, I'm going to make large, whoops, turn it down a bit. I like to make large fritters. You gotta flip them pretty quick or they burn. Ah! Okay, I'm just gonna let the oil cool down a bit. It can start off too hot sometimes. Like now. But you just gotta adapt. There's nothing better than corn fritters with maple syrup from Quebec. It's like a donut. That's a little dark, that one. No matter. I like them all colors. As long as it's cooked inside. They're all a different shape. Each one's unique. I actually think I better just leave that one there for a little longer. It's very heavy. If it's heavy, it's got heavy batter in it, and that means you got to cook it longer. You want it light. Light as a feather. And that's what I'm doing this Sunday. Quit smoking, you know, on the 11th. You can do anything you set your mind to. You're in control of your thoughts. You're in control of your words, and your words will manifest your outcome. They really were. Like, your mood is so important. Your mood will make you smoke or not. So you have to keep your mood happy, right? And you're in charge of your mood. I don't like miserable people. They make other people miserable. I don't know if my cough will go away. I think my cough is due to radiation poisoning, in all honesty. Radiation poisoning makes you feel weak. It makes you feel dizzy, nausea. Oh, these are delicious. Look at that. Corn fritters. And you can serve it with anything really. Something sweet, jam, maple syrup, or something savory, a dip made out of sour cream. It's flexible to sweetness. I've got, okay, this is what it is. It's 1 tin of cream corn, about half a cup of butter, 3 eggs, and then I beat that. I make it really nice and beat it up. Mix together, and then I add flour, about 1.5 cups of flour, a little bit of baking soda, a little bit of baking powder, and even a little bit of cornstarch. I just put in a few ingredients that I know make a good batter, because then it'll make a good fritter. sorts of things we can do that are thinking outside of the box, and we're going to have to start thinking outside of the box as our regular foods are. They're just playing with you guys in the shelves. They're making you think famine's coming, but it's not. They're driving the economy so that everybody buys out of fear. And it's keeping the economy going very well. There's nothing wrong. I think they're just playing with the shelves. Jeez, they're good, getting masters at being psychological terrorists here. Don't you think? Aren't you sick of the terror? Aren't you sick of buying out of fear? If people lived in the emotional love, they'd have no fear. Oh, these are good. So if you're trying to change your world, it starts with changing your thinking, changing your mood. Every time you find your mood off a little bit, it's time for comfort. And not being afraid of comfort. You can pray to God for your comfort, or you can make it, create it at home. Whatever is going to happen, we manifest it. With our thinking. So I think Hollywood has to crash and burn. And we have to realize that our children must be raised by logical thinking women and mothers, not cartoon characters. We've got to stop that kind of forming of our thinking. Our thinking is precious, precious. It brings our imagination home. It creates images and we manifest from those images. It's critical we think better to manifest better. What I have to say about the spirit of Jesus, the spirit of King James, the spirit of Trevor, they're all the same as the spirit of Elvis Presley. Yeah, I know, now you're going to hang up on me. Now you're really going to call me crazy, guys, because I think Elvis Presley was the king. And I think he left at 42 years of age because his mother was dead. And it broke his heart. Her name was Gladys Love. And I feel like it was my spirit again. She died in 1958. I looked it up. I was born in 1959. Gladys Love was her name. Can you imagine? That was Mary and Jesus all over again. And you missed it. That's what's happening, guys. We are turning into blind robots who can't see love. I think Jesus left at 42 years of age after he said he won't participate. in this system again. I've told you, if you've been following my channel, that I feel the Spirit of Mary within me. I feel the Spirit of Trevor in every infant. Christ is every infant. And we're turning our Christ over to artificial intelligence, where you're only using your senses. Shut that off. Where you're only using your senses for immediate pleasure and not remembering love while you're here in the ego trip. Everybody's entitled to a story. You can have any story you want. But if you're going to forget about love, the emotion of love with your mother's soulmates, and you're going to buy into stories that are presented to you by very charming narrators. But it's up to you if you believe in those stories. Do they suit you? How's your life going? Is it about money? Or is it about perversion? Or is it about love? What's the scale? Tip the scales there. Are you living in love? Or are you worried about money? You'll have everything you need as soon as you give up money. What you think is so important here is useless at the end. It doesn't bring you joy. It makes you lose people. You'll have that joyful satisfaction for a while counting your coins. But then that feeling goes away when you look around and you don't see anybody there with you to enjoy it. That's my problem. I've got rich people in British Columbia counting their money in condos and bragging about it and thinking that I'm the loser. When I went bankrupt, lost my real estate and career, lost it all, and it's because I wasn't thinking right, apparently. It had nothing to do with the system targeting certain individuals to shut them up, their voices, so that you won't find out that this system has been in program for about 100 years, that it's in cahoots and lockstep to drive you psychologically insane and take over the womb of your mother so that we have artificial babies and robots instead of emotional intelligence and conduits to God, which is love. It depends on what kind of world you want, guys. If I have any words of wisdom at all, it is to tell people to reach into the Christ within. Don't pray to the Christ outside, because you'll do without. And you'll feel miserable when you see that you forsaked it within yourself. You have strength. But when you think of lords outside of yourself, you're weak, you're dependent, you're needy, and they will tell you when you live or die. But real God, real love, can't be fooled by artificial intelligence. So if you are noticing the lies, please start speaking up. Please don't be a silent mouth for these evil thinkers who bring evil things to our education and medicine. Please learn how to speak up when you see wrong. And there we have it for the Sunday sermon. I made corn fritters with maple syrup and butter. And you can eat this up and you won't get fat. The only time you get fat is when you listen to the doctors and you listen to the health experts and you eat at McDonald's and you forget about balance and joy. All right, guys, I'm going to pack it in. It's been a good Sunday. I'm going to bed early. One thing about quitting smoking is I'm getting a lot of sleep. It's a bonus. But I also have to tend to myself more. And so I won't be doing, I don't imagine, videos as often for the next few days anyway. I just need some peace for myself, and I want to write a list of all the things I want to get done now that I'm breaking free. I'm breaking free of what was holding me back, and I'm hoping that other people break free of what's holding you back on any matter. I feel like Christ. I feel like a kid. I feel like a kid in a candy store, and I can do whatever I want, and I can be whatever I want. And the movie I'm going to take home in my imagination is going to be a blockbuster, because everything that I'm putting together in my dot connecting with consciousness and spiritual intelligence, it isn't coming from me. It came from my son and these beings of light. It changed my world, and I see things through new eyes, and I'm hopeful that I'm right about who the Spirit of Christ is in every infant, but who people have made out to be the neon god is Jesus and King James and Elvis Presley. And none of these are to be idolized when they are all telling you the meek inherit the earth, and the meek are the freebies, the ones that just want to live free and let everybody else live free too. They don't like the story of an eyeball for an eyeball. We just want to play and live. Can you imagine what we can create when we're creating with love and not fear? Oh, that's what I'm going to get started on now for building my new tent, my new home with love and only love. It has to come from the thinking consciousness to get there, to get the mood of love. Start with the thinking. Good night, everybody. I love you. I love everybody.